Okay, this regular council meeting will come to order. And could you give a roll call, please?
Ruth Camarillo Smith,
Here.
Luana Martin,
Present.
J.R. Haskins,
Here.
Mayor Knight.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, now can everyone please rise for the invocation of the pledge?
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight to acknowledge our need for your wisdom and guidance. We ask that you help us to unite in understanding the issues that come before our city council and make preparations for the best outcomes in our community. May we together collaborate in our decision-making and take action that is pleasing in your sight. We thank you for your sovereign oversight as we gather in your presence. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first item is board and commission appointments, and now we'll go into planning and zoning commission.
Mayor and council, tonight we are considering appointing 2 vacancies and 1 reappointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission and appointing a chairman and vice chairman and council liaison.
Okay.
And the first point of order is the reappointment of Green Hill for a 2-year term expiring September 1, 2026.
Okay, and we're gonna act on all these individually? Okay, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to reappoint Green Hill.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second?
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
We have 2 automatic vacancies, Richard Kubicek, the chairman, and James Booth for non-attendance. And we need to make 2 appointments.
Okay, and who all do we have that's willing to be appointed?
2 new applicants are Misty L. Wyatt and Doug Goyer.
Okay,
I make a motion that we accept these 2 as appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who was appointed.
Doug Goyer and
Misty White.
Misty White.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
The next item is appoint a chairman to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Who's our candidate?
The-
It's the same 2?
Someone who's on the board.
Yeah, there's someone on the board. Have to have a chairman and a vice chairman.
Yes.
I make a motion for Myron Schroeder to be chairman of P&Z. If you accept, Myron.
I second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Okay, and lastly, we need to appoint a city council liaison to the P and Z Commission.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. You're just a in-between for planning and zoning and the council. 7 council members sit.
Make a motion that be Ruth.
Do
I
it.
mean, Luann.
Dave, tell it in there.
I make a motion for Luann to be the liaison to P&Z.
Okay, we got a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Easy peasy.
Okay. All right, next we'll go into city manager announcements.
Just one announcement today, and that's just a reminder that the Strategic Budget Planning Committee session is scheduled for Friday, June the 13th, and that meetings will start at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay. All right, next we'll go into citizens' comments. Welcome to the podium, sir.
It's gonna be brief. I'm not gonna talk about underwear. I'll be
All right,
brief.
good.
Okay, time's
Congratulations,
up.
everybody.
All right.
You behave yourself.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations again, and remember,
Oh, can you
about a
put-
month ago, you all came and introduced yourself to us and told us, oh, my name is Frank Bennett.
Thank you.
and, you know, explain to us what your objection is to be on city council. I'm just asking y'all, don't forget what your objection is. Healthcare, whatever it was, stick to it. You're not going to win every fight. Don't give up. Everybody's got to vote. I appreciate that. So go after what you think the city needs the most and vote for what's best for the city. Number two, I hate to say this word, Con Brown. You know, y'all need to do something about it. Here's what I'm saying. I was there today. Y'all do a beautiful job cutting grass. That place is beautiful. Who sees it? People like me who go fishing there. We don't care if the grass is cut. I want to know if there's fishing on the other side of the grass. So, you know, we spend a lot of money for that place. And if we were spending the money and it was up for sale, you know, at a realtor, they would recognize that. Hey, look how pretty it looks, you know, this and that. But we're spending all this money to let the fishing men and the fishing women look at it. I don't know what the answer is, if you all need to start subdividing it, half an acre, 3/4 of an acre, acres, 2 acres, 5 acres. I know the way the streets are laid out, it's going to be hard to sell everything. But I just, you know, on the next couple of years, y'all there, think about what we can possibly do to get rid of that property, because it's just costing us money every single month. It costs us money because y'all respect the fact that we need to make it look good. But, you know, at the price of $1 and what we're going to do with it, I mean, it's been there for a lot of years doing nothing except causing taxpayer expense. Again, congratulations. I'm brief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Mayor and council, city manager, city attorney, and everybody else. I'm coming up here with concerns of the housing authority and how management has been handling the situation over there for many years, at least 5, 6, 7 years, since 2019 to my understanding. And I was hearing before, I had wrote this when I had heard that they were trying to elect somebody that was serving over there as a board member to be a board member over here. Now I wrote it. I don't think that's going to happen for the planning and zoning, but I'm going to read it anyway because I wrote it. Now, if the city of Aransas Pass knew what I know and what many of us know, what's been going on over there at the Housing Authority, they would be really upset if the city was to put the person they are thinking about putting on the board that has to do with planning and zoning. Since the top 2 people there have been heading that board, nothing has gone well at all. Just with the most obvious that any eye can see, you could go drive around over there and see that many of those apartments just on the outside are falling apart. No other evidence is needed as to why they should be selected, why he should be selected to that board. It's open to see. If you are going to be the main person on any board of a council or the head of any organization, and you were in charge of what's clear to the human eye, you would not be worthy to be on any seat I mentioned. And there's so many other reasons to why he should not be put on any board having to do with the city. I don't want to mention too much about the financial things that's been going on over there and that most people in Aransas Pass know. But something needs to be done, and that's why I'm here, because there needs to be an investigation on the financial side of what's happened there also. I'm not accusing any of them of anything, but I will say that a lot of money that adds up to millions has disappeared under their watch. And I will say that, at least I think I am, with considering who put them in there, that they were placed in them seats because of their backgrounds. His because he runs or owns motels, which means to me that them motels and the housing authority would coincide with many ways on how they would be run. I'm guessing what he does and how he runs the motel or motels are being run successfully because he still has a job and or they have not gone into bankruptcy. She has a business, and mind you, a business in accounting and financial are 1 and 1. And nothing good is going on over there financially. It hasn't been for years and it's not going good right now. That's it? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Good evening, council member. My name is Alex Tan. I live at 1341 South Arch Street. Congratulations to you guys and the new positions that y'all hold. So I'm here tonight just a regular citizen living in South Arch Street. That South Arch Street goes across just like this, and then Ransom and Highland. So what I'm requesting is a request to maybe get some paving done onto that street. I spoke to Mr. Flores in regards to that, and he recommended that I bring it up to you guys. And that's the only way the citizens can know, or you guys can know, that some parts of Aransas Pass needs a little bit of help. That location right there is kind of interesting because you got the Navarez boat ramp park at the back, and then you got a future yacht club coming up, apparently, correct? And then also you have the apartment complex, you have the shrimpery right on the right side. It's an excellent location, by the way. But anyway, so the shrimpery's there, and then the barbecue competition every year. It's the same street that y'all close out every year, so that way pedestrians, bike riders, golf carts, everybody's running through there. You got boats with RVs. Trucks with boats. You got Aransas Pass Sanitation Department. You got the waste trucks, Aransas Pass waste trucks going through there. Apartment residents there, RV residents there. Tons of people running through it. It increased over the past 4 years. So that's what we noticed. And if you do, it's just a request. Put a speed bump there because some people are driving pretty fast on that street, and it's 100 yards. So it's like a football field, less than a football field. So it's 100 yards, so just one speed bump there if it could happen. It's paved right now, but it's one of those that like kind of gravel. I've seen some kids driving their bikes too, and when they turn, because it's loose gravel, they eat the dirt. Yeah, and they come up scratched. The speed bump is for the kids because there's some kids in the apartment complex as well, and also the vacationers that are coming through. It's increased. It's kind of cool. This is actually hotter. I think that area is hotter than Con Brown because there's a lot of activities going on in that area. But that's the only thing that I'm asking y'all to do is put some paved stone speed bump, and if you have the budget, a sidewalk, so that way people can walk back and forth. Again, there's a lot of people there that are walking around enjoying the Aransas Pass. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great week.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you want speed bumps because people are speeding?
There isn't no paved because it's just loose gravel. It's
I
not
got that, but you did mention speed bumps.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the purpose of the speed bump?
Just a fast driver down the street.
Yeah, well, I was going to tell him if you could, Alex, on item 9 for the public hearing, you could speak during this, and we could actually have the back and forth with you and include some of the.
Sorry.
It's okay. And it's coming up on item 9.
I'll be back.
Yes.
I'm right there.
Come back up and bring it up again. Thank you.
Mayor, City Council, I'm Richard Titus. Everybody knows me. This has come to a surprise to everybody around here. I'm not here to complain and bitch today.
Wow.
My neighbor.
Unfortunately. Chief, I want to tell you thank you for Corporal Thomas and Officer Sosa coming out this weekend and taking care of a situation that was in dire need of being taken care of a couple other situations that were over there. Thank you, City Council, for things are looking up in this town. I might have to start wearing my shades. Mary, you will always be a friend of mine, ma'am. All of you will always be a friend of mine. I'm not here to complain about nothing today, and thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
I was good, so I had to get up. I'm
Shaking
nervous.
yet?
Good evening. I'm only here for one reason. My reason is pretty much the same as Andy's. I've been a tenant of the Housing Authority for 2 years, and just recently they had some changes made on the executive director, which I think that was one of the good things that have happened. But I'm here to request something else. I'm requesting an investigation into the Aransas Pass Board of Housing due to lack of confidence and inaction of public concerns. I'm here formally expressing serious concerns regarding the performance and conduct of Aransas Pass Board of Housing. There is a growing lack of confidence in the board's ability and willingness to carry out its duties in a fair, transparent, and responsive manner. This concern has recently been shared by numerous residents and tenants throughout our recent community during recent board meetings, which all have attended. Despite repeated complaints and documented concerns raised by the tenants, members of the public, current and past employees regarding housing conditions, management practices, and landlord misconduct, the Board of Housing has consistently failed to conduct thorough investigations or provide meaningful resolutions. The apparent lack of accountability and follow-through not only undermines public trust, but also puts residents, especially vulnerable tenants, at continued risk. We believe that inaction and disregard shown by the board warrant immediate attention and a formal investigation into its operations, oversight process, and responsiveness to public concerns. Specifically, we request the following: an evaluation of the board's procedures and ethical responsibilities, identification of systemic issues contributing to the board's apparent inaction, recommendations for corrective actions or removal of the current board members, and that's meaning everybody. A clear slate. Anybody that's worked with the past executive director is to be removed. The integrity of housing oversight is essential to health, safety, and dignity of our community. We respectfully urge that your office take swift and transparent action to investigate these matters and restore accountability to the Board of Housing. I'm prepared to provide additional documentation and witness testimony if I need to. During a recent meeting, y'all were able to attend. Your chairman, which is your president, stated to himself, I had a complaint back in 2023, and never once has he talked to me. So he's failed to do his duties to investigate, follow up. That is your job. It's two things: investigate, follow up. He's failed to do that. Everybody's being held on financials. Everybody's being held accountable except for the two people that have been in control. So I'm only asking that if y'all can open up an investigation for the people. We are the people. We are the people you work for. This is the city of Aransas. So I'm asking that y'all open up an investigation, not only on the financial part, but on the tenants. Because we have been there with complaints over and over and over, and the only change that we've had is just one person, but there's more than that. Other people have been in charge of that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
And I guess we can just continue on, because we talked about this earlier, continue on looking into this. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, we have any?
Hello. This is just something to think about. I went to these other board meetings here, and who elected them? We elected y'all, and I know we had to have some, but just to give an example of what went on at one of these board meetings, after the last election, it was time to find a new seat, because they thought, because the lady that was running it thought that because the person that got unelected, that that there had to be an empty seat. Well, then the person running the board meeting brought out the bylaws, supposedly, and said that the council member couldn't serve on the deal, which, hey, that's fine, no way. But if she thought that was the case, why wait till we got new board members? Y'all, we elected y'all. I mean, and I know this country's, but it's a thing, just not in Aransas, going from low to local. We slowly but surely gave power away to non-elected members. Let's try to take some of that back. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, anybody else wish to speak? Okay. Oh, I guess we'll move into staff reports and other discussion items.
The first report that you have on there was placed on there by Councilmember Camarillo Smith, and the item that she placed on there is overgrowth in alleys, and that's the item that she wanted to speak on.
So this was a concern from some of the citizens that I've spoken to, and their concern is that there's a lot of overgrowth in the alleys in Aransas Pass, and that it would make it difficult for emergency vehicles to get through there. And I know one resident in particular, she was concerned because her power line is down, and she said that it's been that way for years, and that she was concerned AEP wouldn't even be able to get back there. to fix the line, so she hadn't even bothered calling them. And I did look at it, and it's very low. So I'm just bringing the concern before the council to see what recommendations we could do. I did some research and found some other things that cities were doing. I don't know what the solution is, but we need to find one for the residents that are concerned. There's also a new family that I spoke with, and they moved into a brand new home, and they said it's a husband, wife, and they have 4 kids. So their concern is with safety in the alleyway. They were saying that, it could be like crime and things going on, or, possible people hiding out back there, and they were just concerned and wanted those concerns brought before the city council.
I think
So
the
I said I
area
would.
of concern that you mentioned in your request was West Matlock, and I believe
Mhm.
that was between 13th and 12th Street, and then
Yes.
12th and 11th Street.
Yes.
And I did see the photo that you forwarded to me. I do have Mr. Joseph Garza here from our code enforcement officer.
Okay.
Code enforcement office. I know that in the request that you submitted, you outline a process.
Mhm.
I do know we have a process, and where'd he go? Okay. If he can speak to that
Hi,
process. that we-
Joseph.
Hey, Mayor, Council. My name is Joseph Garza. I'm the building official for the city, in case I have not met some of you. We're in the process of revamping our ordinance to include more contractors for code enforcement, dealing with abatements, high grass, unsecured vacant buildings, demolition, items like that. I think one of the solutions for these alleyways would be actually abating them, having our contractors go out there to have it cut down, and going through the whole process of code enforcement, putting a lien on the property. We'll be able to put a schedule on these properties with our program that we use for code enforcement. That way we can regularly check on these properties. That's something that we're currently working on.
Can we get back to you? I did see the photos that you
Mhm.
sent me, so let me get together with Mr. Garza, and we'll work on a plan to address the item that you have in question, which is the one on West
Absolutely.
Matlock.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely. That's a good
Like I said, I
plan.
think-
And it sounds like they're on it already. I
Yes.
just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure there were eyes on the situation, because there's
And
some.
it's not only alleyways either. It's a lot of
A
properties
lot
that
of,
we need
a lot
to
of
do
properties.
something about. It's
Yeah,
just we're not.
abandoned buildings,
Yeah,
all
we're
of
just
that.
not there yet
Mhm.
in getting that done.
And I'm not sure specifically if I know it was brought up at the Aransas Housing Authority that, Andy might know more information if that was an alleyway, but there was a resident out there with the overgrowth too.
Mhm.
And there was like a homeless encampment back there, and they were like, there was a danger out there of them
Absolutely.
breaking into the housing authority. So I'm not sure like what the area is specifically. Andy would have more information on that area, but also looking at that just to make sure to keep them safe out there.
I'm sure we're keeping notes that way.
All right,
We can
perfect.
get things done for y'all.
I have a question
Well,
for
we'll
you.
get a report back to you on that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
In lieu of using a contractor or contractors, they are not cheap.
Sure.
Have you considered bringing on additional personnel for this reason, for this purpose?
As far as contractors or more contractors or
No,
actual city
personnel,
workers?
More city workers to enforce this versus hiring contractors at a much higher rate. Would it not be more feasible to hire additional personnel to handle these issues? Just a question. Have you considered the option?
We have, yes, we have, and we outweighed the budget for our abatements and what it would cost as far as overtime, getting more personnel on, because we do have a mowing department, but they're tied up with their own properties that they need to mow and keep track of.
Yeah, the biggest thing with contractors is they maintain and purchase all their equipment, and we're out of that, and
Absolutely.
that's a
Yeah.
big cost.
Contractors is the
those-
better route for us.
And
to go.
some of those, Lou, a lawnmower isn't going to be able to take care of. Like it's as high as the houses themselves
Yeah,
through
now,
those
I
alleyways.
would like us, when possible,
Absolutely.
to consider hiring more city workers in lieu of contractors when it's feasible.
Yeah.
When it's not feasible, I get it. But when we have an opportunity to create jobs within our little community, that would be ideal.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's my two
That's a good
cents.
idea.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it.
Carol Salinas Aranza's passed, and I think it would be wonderful, great if you got someone out to mow the alleys. We were told in the past, not that many years ago, that the alley was part of our property and was our responsibility. And if that's changed, I'd be thrilled because I've been mowing it all this time, and but I just wondered when the ownership of the alley changed. Thank you.
Coming back up here.
He knows this one.
So, to piggyback off of that, it is in the ordinance that homeowners are responsible for their alleys. They do have to maintain it, and just like vacant properties, when we go in and abate something, that's how we would treat those alleyways. We would go in and abate those alleyways that are, I guess, connected to vacant properties. Because usually those are the properties that aren't being kept up with.
Right.
We do put liens on the properties also for basically the cost of what we charge for the abatement for the contractors and time and all that. We do put liens
Is there
on the
something we
properties.
can do, like a public notice, to give the citizens a chance to do it, like in an advance notice to publicly state it, like, hey, this is what we're looking at. You might want to start taking care of this issue before it gets to that point, you know?
So we have tried that in the past. I want to say maybe a year and a half ago. We're willing to try it again. If y'all have any type of direction for us to, or anything specific that you would like to see on a notice, or how to get that notice out, or anything like that, I mean, please reach out to us and let us know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
Joseph.
Hey, Joseph, question. What about the ditches? Are the residents responsible for those ditches as well?
So I'm gonna read you from the ordinance itself, okay? It says, "It shall be the duty of the owner or occupant to keep the abutting and adjacent sidewalk, parkway, alleyway, and gutter clean and free of all weeds, trash, rubbish, filth, debris, and obstructions which may encumber such sidewalk, parkway, alleyway, and gutter."
So is there any way to specifically put it in that ordinance, the drainage?
So anything to deal with any of this, Texas law states that the municipality has the right to change the ordinance, to add to the ordinance, to subtract from the ordinance, anything like that. If anybody has any suggestions that should be placed in there or want to see placed in there, again, reach out to us. We're more than willing to hear anybody out,
Yeah,
basically.
and let me just add that Mr. Garza is working on that ordinance. We met
Yes.
just last week, and he is working on some revisions on that ordinance to bring to council.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
May I say something about the alleys that wasn't mentioned yet? All of these alleys have our utilities down them. There are so many alleys, especially mine. When they do work back there, this is sand. It doesn't get compacted back by any means. Some of these holes that are back there are 1.5 feet deep. You want to run a fire truck that weighs 38,000 pounds over the top of that soft sand in that hole. Something kind of needs to be done with the alleys that have all of these big bellies in them, like my sewer line back there. It's got 3-foot pieces of 6-inch clay pipe that are lead and yoakum. They do this. They leak, and all that water settles the sand that creates those big bellies like that. I sure wouldn't want AEP or the fire department going back there and getting stuck if there's a fire and they have to get pulled out because they're not level and flat. That's why I have asphalt and concrete where I pull my trailer out whenever I do, because it's sand back there. Those big vehicles aren't going to be able to make it through those bellies that are in there like that. So if there's something you can do about that for any of the alleys that are that way, that would be good as well, since you're talking about that subject.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. I'd like to make one more comment, please.
Come on.
As a city councilman, you gotta realize this town is not young. We don't have 20-year-old guys cutting our yards. Half these people live in the middle of the block. They have no back gate. How do they get the lawnmower back there at 60 years old? Now, I'm asking this as council people because I want you to vote for the citizens, that this may not be a citizen's problem, it may be a city problem because of our age of the people that live here. To be fair about it. You know, I cut mine, I live on the end of the street. Well, mine's easy, I'm right there. But you think about all the people down the line, and half these houses are rented, or leased. People don't live here. So I mean, it's a gray area, but I'm asking y'all as city council people to think about what it takes to get all this done.
Right.
Now, you may say, okay, let's be fair, let's do every other street the city will take care of, or I don't know. But it can't be left up to, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, our old people in this town. 'Cause I'm 75 and I'm still cutting grass. But a year from now, maybe not. Are y'all gonna give me a ticket? I've been cutting it for 12 years now. You're gonna give me a ticket because 1 year I didn't cut it? I'm just asking you, as city council people, think about that.
And that's why we're having the discussion, Frank.
Take
That's
care
not
of
what we're
it.
trying to do.
Take
That
care of
with
the
our
citizens.
elderly.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So can we get clarification so the citizens know? Citizens are responsible for trash, weeds, grass. Can we clarify structure of the alleys, the paving, all that? Who's responsible for that?
In the ordinance, the homeowner's liable up to the midway of the alley, and on the opposite side of the alley, that if there's a homeowner, they're liable for the middle of the alley onto their property. That's how the ordinance, it's been written for, I don't know how long.
Just
Yeah.
something to keep, to fill
Yeah.
these big bellies in.
I mean, it's something we can look into, because I mean, at the end of the day, it all
That's
comes
the way
back
the
to
law,
money.
yeah, you're right, that's the way the law currently
The
reads.
city's caused it. I have one behind my yard. I didn't have it for years. They came, dug the sewer line up, they left, it's that deep now, in the middle of the alley. That's caused by the employee is not finishing the job. Compact that sand. Don't wait 6 years before it's that deep. I mean, it's that deep right now. That's where the dishes are coming from the employees digging up the alley, not the people living there. It's the construction workers that are not finishing the job. Nothing personal, guys. That's what I found.
Well, I mean, I think something we need to look into, because it's not fair to our citizens to have to pay for structure of alleys when commercial vehicles use the alleys.
Oh, yeah,
And they're very
yeah.
expensive. We should not put that on our homeowners.
I agree.
We need to visit that and see how we can separate that so our citizens know the separation.
And that ordinance will probably be coming to council here in the next month or so.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay. All right, anyone else have anything to say on that one? No? Okay, and I think, item B, we're gonna pull that,
Yes,
aren't we?
we're gonna pull that one until next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the big problem.
All right, next order of business be a consent agenda, consideration of approving the May 13th, 2025 special meeting minutes, and consideration of approving the May 19th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. And do we
I
have a
make a
motion?
motion that we approve the consent agenda as stated.
Okay, we've got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're gonna open the public hearing. And this will be public hearing on the operating budget for fiscal year 2025 through 2026.
I guess before you open it up to the citizens, let me just say that the law requires that we conduct one public hearing, and that's usually at the end of the process. But the city took the position some time back to conduct a hearing at the beginning of the process to give citizens an opportunity to provide input on the upcoming budget, which is the 25-26 budget. So that's the purpose for this hearing. The second public hearing will be, as you said, September 15th.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, we have anybody wish to speak on during this public hearing?
Okay, good evening. I have property on 1770 West Myrtle. That's on the north end of town.
Yeah, do me a favor, Mike, state your name for the record.
Huh?
State your name. for
Michael
the record.
Dallas.
All right, thank you.
This operating, or the budget for this year, I would make it a formal request for this street that I'm on, okay, to receive some improvement. Water, sewer, even a road would be great, okay? 15 years I paid on this property, well over $100,000 just on city taxes. No water, no sewer, not even a street. But half a block away, we have water. Allen Samuels, the service center. What's up with that?
What street do you live on, Michael?
Myrtle Street.
Myrtle.
Yeah, West Myrtle.
Yeah.
West Myrtle, north end of town. We found money now for Sherwood Forest. Improve it, right?
Yeah, that's a little different. That was,
Annexation.
Yeah.
Okay? That street that I'm on was part of that at one time.
No, and I agree because it's in the city limits, and I think that's something I'd like to.
Well, I've been
get
through so
some
many
numbers.
city managers and heard so many stories.
Yeah.
It's,
No,
it's in the city limits, but it was not part of the Sherwood
Yes,
Forest
I
annexation.
no, I agree, but that'd be something I like just to work the numbers and see what the cost would be on that.
Okay.
As far as,
brought it forward a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know.
that project. I could just
yeah,
represent it.
okay.
How many houses does that represent? And how many people?
Well, I don't know how many houses, but I know there's a lot of potential houses that.
If that street was even opened up, you'd be amazed what this city'd have out there. That whole Myrtle Street.
Let me say something quickly. So it's not only about the houses that exist, but the potential houses that would
Right.
come. You know that saying, if you build it, they will come?
Yep.
So basically kind of think of it that way.
I have 5 acres.
Yeah, I presented in 2023, I believe, and it didn't get the support at the time, but I don't believe I presented in 2024, but I'd be happy to bring it forward again this year.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay.
But this is a request to get some city services.
Oh, you'll get it, Michael.
15 years is enough, you know?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. All right, now you're up.
Now I'm up. By the way, the conversation between you two guys were fantastic. I've already seen a great improvement in the city council. Wow. But anyways, so yes, that street, Arch, Ransom, Highland. If we could get it paved, the speed bump is for safety for kids in the apartment complex. There's a few vehicles that do go pretty fast there. They're trying to get to the fish or something. But there's other stuff going on. Sometimes maybe with the ones with trailers and the barbecue pit champions and stuff are running around over there too. There's a funeral home in front of on Commercial Street. They use that as parking areas, and they pay on that funeral home parking spaces, and so everybody starts walking around out there. Through the yard, through the grass, whatever. But that's the reason why if you got extra, maybe some walking sidewalks for those people. But paved stone stuff, paving the road would be pretty ideal in regards to that. It's going to get even busier in the future.
You
Ask
say
me a question.
sidewalk. You can't say sidewalks in front of me without me
Boy.
getting excited. Jason knows that.
I like it. The alley thing was I think that's really
sidewalk
cool.
lady over there.
Yeah. We need them all. We need them everywhere.
Oh, absolutely,
If it was up to
absolutely.
me.
David, can you look into that?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the barbecue pit and shrimpery stuff is going to happen.
I'm gonna put it on the list already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, it was supposed to be closed down for 4th of July, but y'all moved it to Calm Brown. So, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. That's all good to me. Do y'all have any questions? Ask me a question, any question, please.
No,
Where's the
I think-
speed bump that you're talking about? Where's that?
Wherever you could put it, if you want to
But
put it in
where's
the middle.
the one
of
that you're saying would be more beneficial on what part of the street?
It's just one street, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe the 5th lot. There's 3 empty
Are you
lots
talking about
there.
down Arch or down Highland?
Arch.
Down Arch.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yeah, because everybody's just using that for passing. Thoroughway. It's a thoroughway.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they already have a couple on East Johnson, so, I mean, in that area, I mean, kind of makes sense to me since,
I have it down.
yeah, okay, yeah, because that's where all the complexes are for kids and shrimpery and everything.
Yeah,
So,
and
I mean,
there's a lot of electric scooters going down there and the electric bikes. And I don't know, but anyways, I appreciate y'all taking the time to review
Well,
that.
if it's any consolation, I will tell you that Chief Perkins at last month's meeting promised more police presence in certain specific parts of town. And Chief Perkins, you've nailed it.
Yeah.
You've done a wonderful job getting more police presence for us in key parts of town. And for that, I have to say thank you.
Yep.
And I
Yes,
think
thank you so much.
Down south, right, thanks. I'm out if y'all.
All right,
Thank you, Alex.
Jason.
Thank you, sir. All right, we have anybody else wish to speak? Okay, then I'll declare this public hearing closed. And next, we'll move into action items. And it'll be a consideration of awarding the request for qualifications for the architectural engineering services and begin contract negotiations with Chesney Morales Partners for professional design services for the police and fire station remodel.
Yes. Just as you read, the purpose for this item is for us to begin contract negotiations. And that's for the engineering and the planning services for the remodel of the police department and the fire station, and also living quarters. Back on March the 17th, the council approved an RFQ for engineering services. So we did the RFQ. We received 6 proposals. Last week, there was a committee that met, and the committee consisted of Mayor Pro Tem Haskins, myself, our finance director, Sandra Garcia, our police chief, David Perkins, and fire chief, Michael Newhar, as well as our director of public works, David Flores. We did the rankings on those 6 proposals, and we are recommending Chesney Morales Partners. They're a firm out of San Antonio, and this is just for us to begin negotiations. I did reach out to them last Friday to let them know that we were going to be recommending them. I asked them how long they anticipated the contract negotiations to occur. They said about a month. So after about a month, we will come back and bring the contract to council for approval. And at that time, we will know the cost of those services.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mary. All right.
I make a motion, we approve consideration of approving the award of qualifications and architectural services to Chesney Morales Partners Incorporated.
I
Okay.
second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving right along, consideration of approving the renewal of an agreement with the Defense Logistics Agency Disposition Services.
Council, Mayor, the police department's been in an agreement with it's called LISO, the Defense Logistics Agency. Let me move this closer. I was told I didn't talk loud enough last time. But the LISO program allows police departments to get access military equipment from the Department of Defense. Our agreement, well, twofold. Our agreement's now coming up, but also there's a new head of agency, which is myself, which we have to get the mayor and myself to sign if y'all are in agreement for us to stay in this program. You'll probably notice the MRAP that we have, the military vehicle back there. That was part of this LISO program, and that vehicle alone during a hurricane will be able to get into high water areas that you couldn't with the regular patrol car. So I am asking that y'all approve the agreement and that you would sign it, Mayor.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the renewal of the agreement of Defense Logistics and Disposition Service for the police department.
Okay, we have-
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, consideration of approving a contract with K-Freeze and Associates for engineering services for the Sherwood Forest Water and Sewer Phase 3 project in the amount of $491,172.00.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we're calling this Sherwood Forest Phase 3, even though there was not a Phase 1 or Phase 2, because it was a contractor phase, and the city of Aransas is doing an in-house portion, so indirectly calling that phase 2. So this should sum up the Sherwood Forest project. We'll be running water line to loop around 35 all the way to Payne, then we'll run sewer for Payne, and then on 35 we'll gravity feed into the newly installed manholes and sewer mains. K-Freeze is not a stranger. They've done our American Rescue Plan projects. So that after negotiation, we did agree on a price, and if you guys are good with it and approve it, we can get in contract with them, start the design. Chris, do you know more or less how long the design might take? Are you thinking?
Looking at probably about 4 months.
Okay, about 4 months of design. So of course we still got a road ahead of us. So the sooner we can move forward, the better. But if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Let me just add that the funding for this project came from the sale of the LWR property and then funding from the IDA, Industrial District Agreements.
That's right. Okay.
Make a motion for approval of the contract to K-Freeze in the amount of $491,172 for the Sherwood Forest project.
I second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, consideration of approving the automatic increase in garbage services as stated in the contract with Frontier LLC.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is an annual thing that happens here with us. We have our contract with Frontier every year around this time. They do a consumer price index, and we are here just to let the council know, see if they're willing to approve. The cost is going to be about 40 cents per residential customers. Commercial customers will increase accordingly depending on what kind of pickup and the size of their container and whatnot. But for the residential customers, you're looking at 40 cents a month increase. We're looking at doing a pass-through cost to the customers, so that's the increase that they would be seeing in their bill starting next month. I think somebody from Frontier is here. Yes, he's right here.
Okay.
If you all have any questions.
Any questions for him?
Make a motion, we approve the consideration for the automatic water increase and garbage services increase as stated with the contract with Absolute Waste.
With Frontier.
Frontier.
Frontier
Oh,
Kitchen.
I'm sorry, I'm at the one up above, Frontier.
Are y'all considering any recycling service from the city?
We'd have to wait till the contract's up.
Yes.
Yeah, this isn't to renew a contract. This is just for an automatic price increase. All this is for.
It's on your agenda.
It says
Yep.
Frontier. Yeah.
All right, we got a motion. We got a second.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, consideration of awarding a RFP bid for rec signs not to exceed $240,000 for
Is that this?
RFP 2025-004 Aransas Pass welcome sign.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Why are you so jolly?
My middle name's Joy. I have to be. So what I have before you is a request for a sign, and the thought process behind this is really in efforts to create a sense of pride and place and give visitors and locals alike something to congregate behind, take pictures of, and really create a flagship as you're entering our town. And so this is a project that has been happening behind the scenes for quite some time. It has gone before our Municipal Development District Board, and they have pledged financial support up to $240,000, which is your low bid. And so we did receive 2 bids after going out through the RFP process. They were essentially the same in all the components of the bid, the only difference being the cost, the price point. And so $240,000 is the lower of the 2 bids. That is what has been pledged with support. And so you have, of course, the options to say, we think this is a great idea, move forward with that low bid, or evaluate the higher bid, or ask further questions about the project. I believe you all have in front of you a short packet. This sign is being proposed as you would exit the highway, Texas Highway 35 North. There's a little cut, like a cutout when you enter Aransas. It's going to be right in that section there. That's where they're proposing installation. And as you see, both of these packets did include landscaping.
Is this coming in off of 35 into town?
Yes, sir.
And TxDOT's already okay with all this?
I believe we would still
Right.
need to go
Yeah.
through all of those.
Is it? Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
that's-
Rosemary said it
We-
is.
We approved a maintenance agreement with them that was
That's
a
what I
couple of
thought.
years ago.
Okay.
Yes. That's how long this
My
project has been.
apologies.
All right.
It predated me.
Yes.
I apologize.
And just so everybody knows, any dollars out of the municipal development district is all sales tax dollars. So people from all over the place, other than Aransas, will be paying for the sign, which is a good thing. It won't come out of the general fund.
What was the difference? What did the higher bid contain that the lower bid didn't contain? Was there a difference in the landscaping or anything?
What was sent in the package was basically the concept. And so what they bid was their cost to execute the concept. And so there wasn't any
There wasn't really
foreseeable-
any changes?
No, ma'am. No.
They all have the same proposal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really pretty. I just worry that the landscaping, who's going to keep up the landscaping on the?
It would be the city teams, mowing, perhaps Parks and Recs, that type of thing.
Okay. Would
What
that
is
be
this?
okay, Mary?
Yes.
What is this made of?
I was just gonna ask that, Randy.
Beat you to it.
Aluminum signs, 8 foot tall, 100 feet wide.
What are they wind rated at?
Both proposals did include getting the windstorm insurance rating on those.
So do we have to get windstorm insurance on them? for the-
The bidders, the contractors would be getting that.
And they'll be maintaining it yearly for us? In other words, I mean, because $240,000, I'm like, are these made of gold or what? Seriously.
I get that question a lot on this project.
So the engineering is just so they can engineer it to make sure they have the footing and the fasteners that's going to hold up in the wind.
Yeah.
They're not going to continually pay our premiums of insurance. I'm
And
not
what's
sure
that
I'm
for?
not sure if this would be insured.
Well, we
to be
could
honest.
add it to the city's insurance, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't have the cost for that. As to how much it would cost, what the city's cost would be to carry it on our insurance.
I mean, I think it's beautiful. I've seen the one in Beaumont many a times, but I would like to know what the cost total involved would be before we make a motion on this. So I make a motion to table it until we have those numbers in front of us.
This is the number, the cost is
No, I'm
200
saying for the insurance and to
Oh, for us
maintain
to
it.
add it to the city's insurance?
Correct.
Okay.
May I add something, just because I'm listening?
Yeah, come up, Kelly, could you come up to the
Yes.
podium?
Hi, I know nothing about science. My name is Kelly Volmering. However, I know that we're trying to attract revenue, and we are Port A adjacent, which is a tremendous place to be, or basically the Kissimmee, right, to Orlando. And I think that comes with tremendous opportunities. If we're talking about putting this on the highway, anybody born after 1995 is looking for Instagram pictures and so forth, and right?
Right.
Okay, am I lying? Right. So what I'm saying is, if we're going to spend anywhere close to that, can we look at just talk about amongst yourselves putting it someplace where all of that traffic from Port A might come over and take a picture and spend some money at the Rialto and go to the, surplus store. You know what I'm saying? Like, attract to where we want those people to go. I'm just saying this seems like a really sad thing, sorry, to drive by, right?
Well,
Or unless we're planning on for $240,000, we're also getting a parking lot so they can pull over and take their pictures.
No, I agree with what you said.
Do you
but-
know what I'm saying?
But I know this has been worked on for a while, and I know where it's at. It'll be like people coming in from San Antonio, Corpus, from all over the place. And I this is me. I think if we're going to put a sign, that's probably the best place to put one. in all
But if I
honesty.
may add, Mayor, in the proposal, the bids were requested to include a sidewalk approach and parameter. So the thought process was, if guests are ostensibly coming, perhaps even to Port Aransas and coming over 35, that they would have to stop and perhaps look, take a picture maybe.
So there is room for them to park their car, walk to the sign, and take a photo safely.
What is bid is for the sidewalk and an approach parameter. So I don't think it would perhaps be a full parking area, but I think the thought process would be to exit the highway and be able to walk onto the sign area
Yeah, it'd be
as a
almost like
pedestrian.
if you were going up
I don't
37
know
and
where
wanna
you're
stop
gonna
and
park a
pick-
vehicle there, because they're coming off of that at 70 miles an hour and hitting a 55.
That's exactly my point, because in looking at this photo, it's on the freeway side, which means you'd have to park on the Motel 6 side or Walmart side and then walk across a busy freeway. I'm very concerned with that.
That may be something that perhaps we do, like,
We may have to go back and
Is it
look
a
at that, but-
safety issue, Chief Perkins? What do you think?
If they're gonna pull over, if you're coming off of 35, I can see what y'all are saying, there's really not a place to pull over. And if you're coming off of that into the city, and if someone's parked to the side of the road, someone can be looking at the sign and then kind of move over into that, if there's even a parking or a shoulder and hit a vehicle that's already parked there. So, there's some things that need to be considered.
I think we've already experienced that, Chief.
Yes, sir.
As a bad accident. I don't like it because, I mean, if it's a drive-by, look at it and say, we see the sign, okay, and move on, that's fine. But coming off that highway at 70 miles an hour, slowing down to 55, they're making that turn at least 65. And then it goes into 2 lanes out of 1 into that turn, it goes into 2. So, my issue is the location, huh?
Those things are made everywhere you go, every time you go to, and you're going driving through a town, or before you get to a town, that's where you see those things.
Right.
They're they're made to be as you're coming into town. You
But
see on
not
the
for
freeway
people
or
stopping and taking pictures
something. Well,
of.
then you put a sign either
Maybe
for.
we scratch the idea of taking pictures.
No pictures taken, or you put something.
Well, maybe we
Well, the
scratch
whole
the
purpose
idea
of
of
it-
taking pictures.
Can I speak?
The whole purpose of it,
Oh, Will.
and Kelly, we're not against this. I don't believe any one of us here is against it. We just want to make sure we do it safely.
Sure. So if I may be assuming, but it sounds like the direction of the council is to go back and look at either what parking would look like to be able to pull off of the highway safely, or I don't know if this council has another idea, perhaps another vision for a location.
I don't think parking, because, I mean, these signs are the same everywhere.
Or perhaps we remove the component for pedestrians and it simply become a visual amenity.
But then it takes away from the whole point of having it, and people taking photos for Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and so forth.
Why don't we go back and look at how we can allow or have the safe parking so that people can take pictures?
That's
And then
state
we'll also
highway.
look at the insurance part of it.
Right.
So those are the 2 items that we'll go back and look at and then bring it back to you at the next council meeting.
Is there a place on the road going to the ferry that maybe we could replace this at instead?
No, because most
Well,
of that's
this is-
private property on both sides.
Yeah.
To
That's
me,
private property.
this is beautiful signage, and that would be great, but there's wants and needs, and this is a want for this town. Let's focus on some needs. I mean, it's only $250,000 for the town. That's not a whole lot, but let's focus on the needs of getting water to the guy that spoke earlier. And
Yeah, Will, and I'd agree, but you can't use this for municipal.
I mean, but there's just
improvements.
certain things. So let's look at it's beautiful, but let's concentrate on needs first. Thank you.
Me, as long as Chief Perkins maybe has a chance opportunity to look at I think we should get it. I think we just talked about, like, the need for tourism and things coming to Aransas Pass. And I love the sign. I really would like it. I'm going to vote for it as long as he would say it would be
I think it's a
safe.
great concept. It's
Yeah.
just a matter if they're gonna stop and park. That would be
Yeah.
the only issue.
I think there is, I think we need something really nice, a welcome
agree.
sign.
Yeah.
I think, so,
The picture is very cute, but it's not Aransas Pass. That behind you, Jason, is Aransas. It's a harbor city. Everything goes through here, everything's on the side of us. We're the center. And I think that represents somewhat more of a sophisticated appearance for entry into this community. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Dennis?
Hi, I'm Rosemary. I'm with the Chamber. I was just going to say that it wasn't designed to be a place for people to get off and take pictures. It's really a sign for placement, pride, and tourist attractions in our community. That's a high-traffic area that was selected, and we know that people will see that sign and know that we're a place to stay, place to live, place to visit, and that we have a sense of pride in our community.
So, Rosemary, with all due respect, if that's the case, then I would be more comfortable with a sign that says no stopping to take photos.
Yeah,
Something
I
like
mean-
that, to where legally we're covered from a city
Yeah, that would be okay
perspective.
too. The
You know what I
perimeter
mean? 'Cause-
sidewalk that she's talking about is really, it's really to help keep it, the landscaping together and also to keep it from overgrowing into the
Into
signage
the actual
area. Yeah.
signage and the landscaping, all the
Yes.
flowers and.
And there is no
things out
welcome
there.
sign coming into Aransas Pass on that side of town
In
either.
all reality, the city won't be liable for it because that's all TxDOT property. It's all state property.
But of course, I get what you're
regardless,
saying.
I
You
don't
want a
anybody
sign
to
that
get hurt
says,
because they
"Don't
wanna
pull
go take a
over."
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially a child, or anybody for that matter. Because it is beautiful, and yes, I would love to see it happen, but again, just want to make sure it's going to be safe for all.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just make a comment real quick? I think that y'all are getting a little out of hand on, like, worried about people stopping. Nobody's gonna stop. If you read further down, the sign itself is 8 feet tall by 90 feet wide. You wouldn't be able to take a picture in front of it, because you'd have to get
Oh,
so
yeah.
far back, everyone would look like an ant. And they'd be on the other side of the highway trying to get them in. I mean, 90 feet's huge, you know what I mean? So if someone's trying to take a picture, all they're gonna see is the color of whatever letter they're standing in front of.
Right.
But I think it's a great idea to have something like that. Maybe we should look at it, maybe at Con Brown, at some point, putting a mural somewhere, kind of like they do everywhere, where it looks like a postcard.
Yeah.
Welcome to Aransas Pass, people take a picture.
Something
Something to
different
think
like
about for the
that.
future. But I don't think that it's gonna be a safety concern at all. I think it's gonna be like, holy shit, that's a big sign
Yeah.
when people come in. I think that's really what it's gonna be. Yeah, because I was the same way. I thought it was like $200-something thousand, that's a lot of money. And then I looked at the details and I'm like, that's a big sign. And then it made sense why it was so expensive. Now, whether we can afford it or not, that's for y'all to decide, you know? But I just thought I'd add that.
All right, thanks,
I think with all the
One more thing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kelly.
Then what I was gonna say, because again, if it's not to draw revenue and nobody's gonna be stopping there, then, I mean, 2 items up, we're doing a Sherwood Forest Water and Sewer Phase Project for roughly $250,000 more than the sign to go, hey, there's Aransas Pass, that's awesome, there's a Whataburger. I'm just saying, can we, as a taxpayer, just look at it? Everybody's wiser than me on this, and I'm just saying, can you just take one more look at the materials or whatever? It's gorgeous. I love it, and I love our city. I just want to make sure, because that seems pretty excessive
No, and I
to me.
understand what you're saying,
That's all I'm
Kelly,
saying.
and that's, it took me a while to figure all this out, but the MDD board is solely funded through sales taxes.
Okay.
Period. There's not 1 cent of property taxes, hot funds, any other tax goes into this funding source. It is strictly sales taxes, and Sandra can back me up on that.
I just had a little sticker shock, that's all.
Got it,
So
you got it.
defer
Thank
to
you.
wiser minds than mine. Okay, thank you for listening.
Yeah, I feel obligated to correct a statement that she made. She said Sherwood Forest is only a couple $100,000 more. That's just only engineering. The actual
Yeah.
infrastructure needs a couple more zeros.
That's true. Thanks, David.
Yeah, we know.
I'm going to make a motion for consideration of awarding the request for proposals bid to the rec signs not to exceed $240,000 for RFP 2025-004 Aransas Pass welcome sign.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I would like to know the final numbers, like Mary was talking about, before we vote.
I can come back and provide you with that insurance cost, for us to carry it on the insurance.
Well, yeah, 'cause we don't know the full picture, and it may be more than we can afford. We don't know.
Well, the cost is correct. The cost to construct the sign is
Right.
$240. There's the additional cost to carry it on the insurance. I can provide
Right, the
that.
additional costs and the maintenance and so forth with the landscaping. I would like to see a better report, financial report on this.
Well, there's a motion and a second
Yep.
on the floor.
Yeah, and, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Me.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, the next item of business will be executive session, and item 1 will be JWD Eclipse Investments LP. Second item will be Aransas Oak subdivision, and we will talk with Tom Furlow about RV park and Justin Chandler, CB Marine lease and other property. And if I can find my phone, it is 7:06. We're going to reconvene in open session, and it's 9:10, and there is no action taken. Meeting adjourned.